Hello, lovelies. Cory here. Welcome back to Wilder Woman. This is an unboxing for you guys. I know. We haven't done one of those in a hot minute. But I do have a lot of decks that I pre-ordered or backed on Kickstarter last year. Y'all know I'm going through the depth year, so trying really hard not to buy or purchase anything new in this year. But again, these are decks that were already done in 2018 and pre-ordered and are starting to ship to me. So I do have a number of decks that I unboxed off camera, but I plan on doing walkthroughs with you guys on this channel. So there will be deck reviews, new content coming of the like. Just because I'm going through the depth year doesn't mean that you won't see those in 2019. It's just I'm not trying to feed the beast at the moment, okay? Just say that. So this deck, I backed on Kickstarter. I actually didn't expect it to show up until May. But it's early. It came here early. Woohoo! Those are always good ones. And this is the Children of Litha Tarot. Children of Litha deck. It's the Children of Litha Tarot. And look at how beautifully packaged, you guys. There's this little like frost crystal right here. Whoop! There goes the sticker. And some lavender. And look at this. Like, this is beautifully packaged. This is an 80 card tarot deck created by Alexandria Huntington. We've got our little Hierophant business card right here. So all of Alexandria's information is going to be in the description box below, okay? Here is the deck, or deck back, I think, in sticker form. Okay, so let's try and, oh, this is so cute, you guys. She did like a great job packaging this up. I hate to unbox these and like ruin their presentation. But this is cute. Look at this little wire wrapped. Oh, it's an angel aura crystal. You guys cannot see on there. It just looks like a frost guy, but there are rainbows. So this is an angel aura one. That is cute. Okay, I might make that into a pendulum. We'll see. And here we go. So let's rip into it. Oh, it's just so beautifully wrapped. Oh no, and of course it's covered in plastic. I'm gonna have to bust the scissors out. Was not prepared. Okay. Oh. And here we go. And this is looks like a magnetic tuck box. Right here. Dun, 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 dun. And so each deck carries 80 fully illustrated cards by Alexandria Huntington, complete major and minor arcana, as well as 2 extra cards exclusive to the Children of Litha Tarot and a comprehensive guidebook. So, scissors. Where be ye? There we go. Let's pray I don't damage the box, because I'm a klutz like that. Ay, 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 ay. There we go. Alrighty. Oh, focus camera. Thank you. Okay. We busted into it. Ta-da! And again, yep. Magnetic closure here. Love these things. Everyone's doing the clamshell box, and it's freaking awesome. So we are sometimes less hero than fool on our journey. It's true. But you need not travel alone. You are more than just you. In the brightness of day, you have the aid of the sun, and in the darkness of night, the moon leaves behind none. Though our travels are long and our burdens profound, you are never so lost that you can never be found. Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay. Children of Litha first edition, you guys. Oh, look at that gold edging. This is a hefty, oh my word. That is a hefty little book right there. So that's pretty cool. It's colored as well. We do have color illustrations in here. Okay. Be you creatures of day or monsters of night, let us reveal the truths that lay beyond sight, as above, so below, as within, so without. Let us gather our strength and cast aside doubt. So we do have kind of a message from Alexandria in here. We have a discussion about her cards. Oh, bummer. Okay. So the way that this is bound is kind of, and it's not her fault. So there's edging right here. And so because of where the margins are, they're a little bit off. So you see how the words are cutting into the side right here? So that's kind of a bummer. Is it like that on every page? It is. Dang it. Oh, that is a shame. Okay, but it's not as bad with the actual cards themselves. You can pull it aside enough to, you know, kind of see it. That's me pulling it really taut, like as tight as I can without ripping the book in half, so that you can actually read all of the words. So they're not as bad, but in the beginning pages, oh, yeah, see? Like, how much of a bummer is that? Ah, shoddy manufacturer. Okay. Like I said, it's not, it happens sometimes with book formatting. Can't always get it 100% right 100% of the time, right? So we do have some spreads in here. Some additional notes that she has, tips and tricks, and then it goes straight into the actual major arcana. And in fact, she has a spread for this deck, Litha's Wheel, right here before we dive into the major arcana. And then for the major arcana, we've got a poem here, a circular image of the card, and then, you know, basically a summary, upright meanings, or meanings really are just word associations, and then reversed word associations again. So that's the layout we have here. And so we have these 2 pages all the way through, even carrying into each of the suits, all the way to the end. And that's kind of it. Last page kind of ends there. So let us dive into this guy, huh? Boop. Okay. Oh, so gorgeous. So the back does match the sticker. And we have the Fool right here. So these are like just amazingly illustrated. That's one of the things that caught my eye as far as backing this deck. The Magician. Just this amazing, gorgeous fantasy realm. Oh. There's like octopus tentacles that she has going on here. She's holding a pomegranate. We've got a full moon and a moon crescent and the waves below. Like, there's a lot going on in each of these cards, even with like the large oval border that is just amazing. And I love that certain elements are bleeding out of the border here. I think is fantastic. Just really makes it pop. Our Hierophant. Our Lovers. Look at those wings. Oh my gosh, is that a serpent? Yep. So we have a literal, like, Garden of Eden moment here with the Lover's card. The Chariot. Strength. That's cool. I like that. So she herself is like half lioness, half human woman. And it just, that's one of the things that drew me to this deck, was the whole magical creatures. Just really, really love that. That's the Hanged Man. Oh, and this death card, you guys, right here. It's like the goddess of death with her hands over the skeleton. Just, I wish the webcam did a better job of capturing these decks. That's why we have the new camera. We're still working with the new camera, okay, guys? Probably like, you showed us this new camera a while ago. Why haven't you filmed anything with it? I have. It's just not been very good. Either bad lighting, bad whatever. So we're working on it. We'll get it set up. Hopefully, you know, we'll have some videos in February here. Ooh, look at that though. That Temperance card. Where we're filming with the new camera, okay? Be patient with me as I learn all of the settings. It's been a learning curve for me. That tower, oh my gosh. And that's one way of lighting up a tower. Rather than lightning, we have an actual dragon coming out of the sea and burning it down. Love it. Oh, the star. Oh, that's beautiful. And art for me is a key component to me picking a deck. Judgment. Like, if I'm not drawn towards the artwork, it's kind of hard for me to then resonate with the deck. You know, get a feel for it, get that, you know, really want to work with it and be in its presence and take in its messages. So if the artwork, skipping cards, we've got the World, now we got the Ace of Cups. So if the artwork really isn't there and kind of resonating, you know, kind of a bummer. Because then I just get really disinterested in the deck. It's a shame. And it's not that the art isn't good. It's just that I'm not connecting with that artwork, if that makes sense. Because there are a lot of different styles that I really love. I do love all of the rich details. Skipping ahead again. Ooh. Look at that hammerhead and that 4. Or 5. That's 5. That's 6. Yeah. I can count cups. You know, I do like the comic book style decks for sure, but I also do love watercolor decks. Like in previous videos, I've mentioned Shadowscapes, Terrafauna. Also, another amazing deck that came recently, the Queen's Tarot, which has completely different style here. Just to give you an idea how different these are. 2 completely different decks. But I love this style too. This like sucked me in. So it's not it's not to say that there's any, you know, particular style that I'm like put off by or I don't like. It just, there has to be something about the artwork that really draws me in and gets me hooked, like with these two decks for different reasons, that make me want to pick up the deck. And I think a lot of the times it has to do with, oh, that is an amazing Seven of Cups. It has a lot to do with just, do I have anything like this already? And I don't. I really don't. I do have a lot that are very similar in artistic style, but not like this. This is an amazing scope of fantasy right here. The story that these cards tell and the detail. I wish it picked up on the detail, you guys. There are a lot of little touches and grains and throughout the artwork in each of these cards. That's just, it's really great. Now, these cards are matte finish, and they're a bit, you know, powdery. So I can already tell that me shuffling these is probably going to end in me throwing some cards unintentionally across the room. And we do have traditional, you know, names for the court cards: page, king, queen, knight. So this does follow the traditional court card names. Our Ace of Pentacles. Look at that. That's badass. And I love decks that also use animals pretty heavily and rely on the symbolism of the animal to really pull through the message, right? Like here with the goat being associated with, you know, the greed and the hoarding. So it's just, you know, really amazing to see. Now, the interesting thing about these is, you know, we've got the pentacles here. There's not a name written at the bottom, but you do see the number at the top. So you have to look at the pentacles and just know, okay, this is the Six of Pentacles, right? Because you're counting the desks, or you see the number at the top, but you see the desks, and that's your key there to know that this is your pentacle suit. Ooh. Look at that 8. Each one of these pentacles is just animals. I love it. Oh, a 10. That's a family if I've ever seen one. And then we have our page. Our knight. Queen. Stunning. Ooh, that's probably one of the most regal King of Pentacles I've seen in a long time. Look at that. Oh, love it. Okay, and now we have our sword suit. Oh, these. Got our birds, guys. If you're taken aback by the imagery and the Three of Swords, then you know you've got a good deck. 4. Rest. Woo! That's what I love about this deck too. There's a lot of movement in these cards. You can just feel what's happening in that scene. So the images jump out at you. Okay, like the animals are really hurting my heart right now. And I love snakes. I'm like really mad at that snake. They're babies. Oh, geez. Yeah, see, we're like, these are pretty gut-wrenching with the animals here. Oh my gosh. It's an intense 10. And then we have our page. Now then, court cards are still human for each of these suits. Our knight. Slaying a, I think it's a dragon. It looks part Skeksis though. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I just have dark crystal in the brain. Our Queen of Swords. And our King of Swords. And now we're at the Wands, the fire. And we have cats. We have cats for our 2. Oh, family. Oof. You can just feel like you're in the middle of that fight. And that's kind of what I love about, you know, a lot of action going on in each of these cards, which is really fantastic. Like, she didn't shy away from really like pushing it with what was happening there. It wasn't just like a static scene that you kind of peer into the window. It was like, we're coming in, walking in the middle of something happening with each and every one of these cards. Even the ones where someone's just standing like this, you can feel like their movement or picture it in your mind of what happened immediately before the image on that card came into view. So just really, really, really great stuff, guys. And you can purchase this deck. It is available. We've got our Page of Wands here. Our Knight. Our Queen here. Look at that panther. Our King. And then we have our 2 final cards. And those are the Void and the All. So these are the 2 additional cards that are in this set. Pretty awesome, actually. You know, you can definitely pick up, we've got the infinity symbol at the top of each one. And that's because, you know, we have an infinite void, and at the same time we have infinite abundance as well. The all, the everything, all of it, all life. So really, really awesome. Let's go ahead and shuffle and see what one of the messages in Alexandria's book has to say, huh? Oof. Okay. Like I said, these are a little bit slippery for me. So we will see if I just don't go shooting these all over the place, all into the ether. Gosh, I hope not. Whew. Almost lost a handful just right there. This is why, even in my video readings for you guys, I shuffle off camera. Because you don't need to be seeing that stuff. You don't need to be seeing me wasting my time sitting here for 20 minutes shuffling and trying to pick up cards that I've just gone flinging across the room. Would not be a very fun reading if that's most of what I recorded. Okay, let's see here. All right. Children of Litha, what message do you have for us today? What is it that we need to know? And we have, you guys, the Hammerhead. We have the Five of Cups. Alrighty, let's see what the little guidebook has to say. All right, so the cups, and I kind of wanted to read this first before we dive into it. So the cups here, we have the Chorus of Cups. A suit of creativity, feelings, connection, and love. Our emotions are as much from below as they are from above. The heart is fluid, both fearless and frightened, as much a part of the fool as they are the enlightened. The Suit of Cups represents the water element, the season of spring, and deals with time in increments of months. An expressive suit that rules the heart and represents the water signs Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. The themes of this suit are emotions, connections, love, creativity, feelings, relationships, and intuition. Just kind of wanted to read that out loud for you guys before we jumped in. So we do have our 5 here, if I can pull him out. So the poem reads, dismay, despair, regret, and remorse hit the heart like the great waves with momentum and force. So the Five of Cups depicts a scene of deep anguish and bereavement. While others appear to move on, you are frozen in a state of intense suffering. This card is a reminder that while it is important to honor your sadness and experience grief, we cannot let it define who we are as people. In its reversed position, just reading that out loud, this wasn't reversed obviously, the Five of Cups symbolizes letting go, moving on, and learning to accept love after pain. So upright, we've got the keywords agony, bereavement, loss, weighed down by negativity, focusing or obsessing over the negative, trauma, guilt, anger, remorse, suffering, divorce, feeling overwhelmed by small things. Reversed is acceptance, letting go of grief, moving on, healing, replacing toxic habits with good ones, finding new love, regaining your footing, getting out of funk. So I personally don't read reversals. It's amazing that she's got them in this book, however. So with this Five of Cups, you guys, what's really coming through, especially after all of the turmoil and energy that we have had coming off of this weekend, we had a full moon eclipse happen. That was pretty intense. We've had a lot of also intense energy that came through in the beginning of January that's kind of sliding into us. If you happen to be in the US, we're in the midst of a government shutdown. If you're in Europe, there are things that you're dealing with as well. Other countries are also dealing with various things. But for here, specifically in the US, we've had a lot going on. We've had a lot of situations where white privilege has come up. We're trying to collectively break down barriers and bigotry surrounding how we're treating our trans community. just what happened today. The Supreme Court in the United States upheld the Trump administration military ban on trans troops, which is not for me to get too political on this channel, because it's not what this is all about, but we just have a lot of heartbreaking things going on right now where we're becoming more divided than we are being united. There's a lot of grief flowing through everybody right now. There's a lot of hurt, a lot of heartbreak, old festering wounds that are breaking open and bubbling to the surface. Folks who are employed, federal government employees, there are approximately 800,000 right now that are without pay, that have recently been called back to work over the last few days. Also, over the last few days, again, we've had situations where we've had a mass of white privileged male youths who had a confrontation. You know, again, I'm trying not to put too much of my own anger and bias out there for you guys, because it's not why you're here. But there was a situation that occurred at the first Indigenous Peoples March in DC over the weekend, where a Native American elder and veteran of the Vietnam War and his fellow marchers were, in my opinion, treated very disrespectfully. And again, not to put too fine a point on it, there are situations that have arisen over the last few days especially that have culminated in a lot of despair and upset and anger and grief and frustration and a feeling of loss for people. No matter what side you come down on for any of these issues, there's anger and a sense of loss and a sense of upset and grief, and frustration. A lot of frustration. And a lot of feelings of not being heard, right? And that's what you see, you know, on the face of this beautiful animal right here. Just this, like, what is happening, right? We see this harpoon. He has scratches all over him. You know, the chalices are starting to fall. There are ropes. He's clearly bleeding. There's blood in the ocean around him. And what we're assuming are his family are swimming above him, you know, his pod away from the scene. He's trapped. He's trying to get to them. He's in anguish, right? And that's kind of where we are. Not even just as a nation, but as a big collective, as a human race. We're struggling to fight against that current, to fight against the harpoons being thrown at us from all sides. And, you know, ropes attached, weighing us down. We're feeling trapped. And really, the heart of this message is we're not going to be trapped forever. This is a temporary space. Okay? We will get free. Because if you look at the Six of Cups and what comes after this, there's nostalgia. There's, you know, that's our next stage as we reminisce about the good old days, right? When we were kids and we didn't have to deal with all of these problems. But we grow from all of this. The grief is temporary. And it's important not to use it to anchor ourselves down and weigh ourselves down in the water, right? It's important to take the stings, make the time to heal our wounds, and release ourselves as well, you know, not to be trapped under the weight of the grief, right? We do want to honor it. we want to acknowledge that we have those feelings. Yes, absolutely. And there are even, you know, things that need to be vocalized right now that people aren't, especially white people, aren't cognizant of these wounds, of this anguish, of this grief. And we need to be made aware of it. And we need to have discussions about it. And Midnight's walking through my video right now. Where it needs to be talked about and it needs to be discussed, right? But then we need to take action on it and not just sit there and compound it and just relive it over and over and over again, because it's not doing us any good. Right? So if anything, I want you to acknowledge, okay, your grief, sit with it, be with it, do whatever you need to do to, like, you know, break through that. If you need to journal about it, if you need to, you know, sling some cards yourself and find out, you know, hey, how do I work through this grief, right? You can shuffle that up, deal the cards, see what pops up for you. Use an affirmation card, you know, whatever you'd like to do. Light a candle. Gosh, box. Throw some bunches in a bag. You know, whatever resonates with you in order to get it out. Okay, but the point is to bring it out and to not hold onto it and sit with it and stay inside of it. Okay, so super powerful message coming out of this deck tonight, guys. Don't know where that came from, but apparently the collective needed to hear it. So throwing that out there. I hope you guys really did enjoy this boxing. This is a gorgeous deck. I'm so glad that it's here. I can't wait to really work with it. Because this is the Children of Litha deck, I have a feeling that this I'm probably going to save up to be my depth deck, you know, and really, really dive in and work with it around Litha. So in June, this guy might not leave my side. Who knows? We'll see. But Children of Litha deck, if you want to get a copy, all the information again is in the description below. I hope that you lovelies enjoyed this video. As really intense as the message got, I hope that you had some fun watching this. And I really, really hope to catch you in the next video. And until then, love bugs. Please take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your week. And blessed be.